Following the release of the movie It Ends With Us, which is based on Colleen Hoover's book by the same name, Blake Lively is being disavowed. We are seeing in real time her downfall. And I've been following this all as it's been happening, watching piece by piece what is actually going on, so I want to break it down for you today. Because a lot of the things that people are questioning about Blake Lively aren't just to do with this movie in and of itself. There's a lot of things that people are bringing up from her past, but this movie was the catalyst. And we have to note as well that It Ends With Us as a book is already controversial. So when it was announced that they were going to be making a movie, people were kind of questioning it. Now, a lot of people loved this book, were really excited for it. Other people hate everything that Colleen Hoover stands for and thinks that she is glorifying terrible things. Because to make it clear, this book is about domestic violence, and so is the movie, but it is constantly thrown about as if it is a rom-com. Like, look at the description of this book on Amazon. It's a bold, heart-wrenching story of love coming at the ultimate price. Again, this movie is about domestic violence, and it's being described as a story of love coming at the ultimate price. Do you see the issue here? Because a book about heavy topics like this in and of itself is not an issue, right? It's not a problem. You can write about whatever you want to write about. But when you're promoting it as something romantic and as a romance book, and then people go into it thinking it's a romance book, and it's not, bit of an issue. And the same issue arose with the movie. Now, for a bit of context, Blake Lively was producing the movie, and she was also playing the main female character, Lily Blossom Bloom, who is, in fact, a florist and likes flowers, and her name is Lily Blossom Bloom. It's fine, it's whimsical, whatever. The name is not my problem with this. Now, her love interest in this movie, who is also the violence inflictor, is played by Justin Baldoni, who is also directing this movie. But people noticed something was wrong because for all of the press tour that's been going on for this movie, Justin Baldoni has been doing everything alone, whereas the rest of the cast have kind of teamed up together. Now, in all of his interviews, he has been talking about the domestic violence aspect, talking about the more difficult topics, not shying away from those kind of questions, and sharing what this movie is actually about, and sharing the importance of, lifting up survivors, and talking even about the role itself, how he wanted to make his character very likable, and it was important for the character to be likable so that you understand, because these people in real life aren't just big cartoonish villains. Like, you fall in love with somebody and then it turns out that they're awful. You're not just falling in love with a cartoon villain. On the other hand, we have everybody else, and in particular Blake Lively and Colleen Hoover. My cats are squeaking at birds outside the window. If you heard that. And those two are promoting this like it's a rom-com. I mean, we have the infamous, you've probably seen it, even if you know nothing about the story, you've probably seen this clip of Colleen Hoover and Blake Lively together.
Well, I think that's the challenge, right? Because what is a typical abuser or a typical victim? I think that there is no typical anything. I think that unhealthy relationships are on a spectrum, and this was a really important one. So, we partnered with our dear friends at Know More. It was the only way that I could direct this movie is if I had a group of women specifically behind me who are specialists in this space. And from the very beginning, we worked very hard to create a very truthful and honest story that could reflect the reality of what millions and millions of people go through every day. As a man, I'm always going to come with my own biases. And it's one of the reasons I was afraid to direct this movie, let alone act in it. And I wanted to make sure this film always had a female gaze, and I was never putting myself into it. But one of the things that I think is very easy to say, especially for us men, is when we maybe talk to somebody who's in this situation, or we read a book, or we hear a news story, the question that's always asked is, why did she stay? And that's the wrong question. Yeah. What we need to be asking ourselves is, why do men harm?
And Blake says, get your friends, put on your florals, and go see the movie.
Hello, Blake Lively here. Colleen Hoover. And It Ends With Us is in theaters now, so grab your friends, wear your florals, and head out to see it.
Okay, see, you're promoting it like a fun chick flick, which it is not. They even did like a flower pop-up thing and like all of this cute flowery branding. There's another clip where Blake calls it a fun summer movie.
A lot of calls made for a lot of songs in this movie. Honestly, like this movie, I think that like when you see it, it feels like a big, beautiful summer movie, but like we didn't have any budget. So there were a lot of favors and a lot of begging, and I mean, honestly, she was with me on this experience the whole time, all throughout it. So like she really lived this with me. Yeah, she was, she's a person who shows up for you, and
The girl, what are you talking about? This is a movie about domestic violence. Like, do you know that that's the movie that you were in? Did nobody tell you? And I didn't want to just like see what everybody was saying about it and just take it at face value. So I actually did myself go to watch the movie before making this video so that I could give like a proper judgment. Before I move on with the rest of it though, I want to tell you about Surfshark, who are sponsoring today's video. Quick question for you. Would you trek through the desert with no sunscreen? Completely naked? Because to me, that's what going online without a VPN feels like. And yes, I do understand that sounds really dramatic, but I never ever go online without using a VPN, and I never go outside without wearing sunscreen either, so. If you're unsure what a VPN or a virtual private network is, it creates a secure, encrypted connection between your device and the internet, keeping your online actions private and secure. It's great for privacy on public Wi-Fi and protecting your data from hackers and surveillance. For me, this has been particularly useful lately. Since I get bored working from home, I have been working from cafes a lot, which means that I have had to connect to public Wi-Fi against my own wishes. Thankfully though, I'm able to keep my connection safe by connecting to Surfshark VPN. VPNs are also amazing, not just for the security and the privacy aspects, but because they let you also access region-restricted content. So if I want to go and watch the Grammys or the VMAs or a show that's on Netflix but not available in Ireland, I can do that just by connecting to Surfshark VPN. I can just connect to whatever country I need and then access that content. With Surfshark, you can connect to over 3,200 servers, which is a lot, in over 100 countries, and you can connect to unlimited devices. This means you get access to the best deals online, can access your favorite shows, and keep your data safe no matter where you are. And as well as their VPN, Surfshark also have an antivirus which can help keep you safe online. Right now you can click the link in my description and use code Vangelina to get an extra 4 months of Surfshark VPN. And Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is no risk in just trying it out, but trust me, I do think you're gonna love it. Anyway, thank you so much to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get on with the rest of it. Movie review time. The movie itself is fine. Like, I like good movies, right? I love a good movie. But I can watch a not good movie, like more of a fluff piece, because I manage my expectations of what kind of film that I'm watching at the time. So like if I'm watching a rom-com, I know it's a rom-com. I know it's not super serious. If I'm watching, like I'm rewatching Desperate Housewives at the moment, which is not a movie, but to make my point, that movie is ridiculous. It's camp. You watch it and you know people are going to get hit by planes while cheerful music is playing in the background. Like you know what you're getting yourself into and you just go along with it. Like you don't watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory expecting a critique on capitalism. So I kind of went in with that mindset because I knew it was based on a Colleen Hoover book. So it was fine. Like it was kind of a fluff movie. It wasn't super serious. There was some kind of ridiculous stuff. Like the best friend is like, she comes in and she asks for a job because she likes the building, and then Lily Blossom Bloom is like, I'm not hiring, and then 2 seconds later, actually I do need help, you're hired. But this friend who gets hired is like rich and doesn't need money. Like, why do you need to work in a flower shop of all places? Just like, it's just ridiculous stuff, stuff is not realistic, and that's fine. Things don't always need to be realistic in movies. However, that's not the point. The point is there were actually scenes in that movie that even made me uncomfortable, and I'm pretty like thick-skinned about stuff, and I also went into the movie knowing what it was about, but I know full well, because I've seen people talk about it a lot, and I've asked people about this, that because of the marketing that's being done for this movie, and specifically the stuff that Blake Lively and Colleen Hoover are saying about this movie, that they didn't know what the movie was about. They thought it was just a rom-com. Then they go into the cinema and they're seeing this stuff that is quite heavy. There are parts of it that are really, really heavy. So yeah, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, like the way that they're promoting this movie is like at best negligent. Like it's it's not a good way to be promoting it, because there of course can be, and this is a defense that is being made by people all the time, and because it's something that Blake Lively keeps repeating in interviews. She's like allergic to talking about the serious issues in the movie for some reason. Whenever somebody asks her directly about it, she just like pushes it to the side and she starts talking about like, we wanted to show that Lily is strong and not strong, and she's masculine and feminine, and she's a Virgo and a Leo, and she's like, she just keeps listing these like opposite things. It's like, okay, great, you wanted to show that she's a multidimensional person and she's not defined by the difficult things that she's gone through in her life. That's great.
What was it like for you to read Lily's character for the first time, someone who's both a strong woman and a victim of domestic abuse, and how did you bring her to life?
Well, I think she's so much more than just a victim of domestic abuse. That's something that happened to her, but nothing any one person did to her can define her. And she's a woman of multitudes. She's an entrepreneur, a shop owner, an artist, a mother, a daughter, a friend, a sister, a lover. She's all of these things. And so to get to play a woman who experiences so many things and all the colors of the human emotion was just such a gift. So I thank Colleen Hoover for that.
And she achieves her childhood dream. What's your childhood dream?
To wear Britney Spears' Versace dress.
I think that the wardrobe was a really critical part of that storytelling, and I'm really, really proud of it. But I'm wearing like a ton of like Bodhi and vintage, and it's some of my favorite wardrobe I've ever worn.
That? Yes. People are thinking,
Really?
oh,
That?
Oh, you
Are you serious?
The cohorts
Yeah.
are having a lot of opinions
About the
what
movie.
Blake Lively's wearing. Did that surprise you?
It does. It really does.
It's just like so expressive and eclectic and really gives you such a sense of the character.
But you can still discuss the difficult things. Like, she will not name it. And my conspiracy theory is that she won't name this stuff and she won't talk about it in interviews and she won't say anything about it because she and Colleen want to promote this as a rom-com. That's how they want to promote it. They don't want to dwell on the difficult aspects of it because they want it to be a rom-com. They want it to be a fun summer movie where you get your girls and wear your florals and go out and have a good time. Except that's not what it is. And I honestly think if they had taken the subject matter seriously, it could have actually been an excellent movie and you could have still had like the romantic elements. I'm not opposed to there being romance in it, but like promote the movie that you're like it's a like I'm not gonna promote Oppenheimer and be like, oh yeah, there's so much like romance in it because of that one scene with Florence Pugh or whatever her name is. No, it's a movie about a dude who like made an atomic bomb. So, which speaking of, it's very clear that they really wanted to make this like a Barbieheimer kind of moment because while they're promoting this, Blake Lively is constantly trying to cross-promote the film Wolverine vs. Deadpool, which her husband is in, Ryan Reynolds, but it's not working. It's not working because first of all, Wolverine vs. Deadpool is not Oppenheimer and you are not Barbie. Like that was a one-time thing and it wasn't pushed by the marketing execs or by the people who are in the movie. It was pushed by the internet because we thought it was funny. You can't then just make that work for yourself by like constantly bringing up the other movie. And I'm not saying as well that you have to be depressed all the time. Like the whole point is like Lily moves on and stuff and she grows and changes, which there will be spoilers for the movie and what I'm saying. And that's good, that's great. It's a story of surviving and being more than the things that happen to you. But again, you don't ignore those aspects and you don't pretend they don't exist when interviewers ask you about it because Justin Baldoni is perfectly capable of answering the questions. She's also been using the movie to cross-promote her new hair brand, Blake Brown, as well as her alcohol brand. Like there was a whole promotional campaign around making cocktails for the movie, which okay, but like why are you using such a serious movie to promote your own brands but then not talking about the serious issues? Also, her hair looked like shit in that movie. I'm not going to pretend that it didn't. Like that was not a good advertisement for your hair brand because your hair looked terrible. And look, I know my hair looks terrible, right? I'm not here to talk about hair. I am not a hair expert, clearly, but I don't own a hair brand and I'm not trying to promote it in a movie about domestic violence while refusing to answer questions about domestic violence. Like there's even an interview where the interviewer asks like, this is a really serious topic and sometimes, you know, people might want to come up and ask you about their experiences and all of that or talk to you about it because it's going to resonate with some people who have been through the same thing. And the interviewer asked this, and how what is the best way for them to go about this? And she's like, should I just give them my phone number?
Most of us, if we're lucky enough to run into a celebrity in public, we only have a few moments to maybe speak with you guys. But for people who see this movie, who relate to the topics of this movie on a deeply personal level, they're really going to want to talk to you. This movie is going to affect people, and they're going to want to tell you about their lives. So if someone understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, and they want to really talk to you, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
Like asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you, and then we could. I'm just curious.
Just social security number.
I'm a Virgo, so I'm like, are we talking logistics? Are we talking emotional?
Like, shut up. Shut up, Blake. She's irritating. She's just irritating. But while all of this is coming out, people are also calling out Ryan Reynolds because he's been a big part of all of this. And I would like to confess something, because I said this to somebody the other day and they were shocked. Like, this was before this controversy came out, by the way. I was like, I don't understand why everybody likes Ryan Reynolds. Like, he has like the worst vibes. He seems like a terrible person. He's not funny. Like, I went off, and I wasn't going to say this online, but now I can say it because getting called out for some stuff. But I've never liked him, and I don't understand why people like him. And like, I used to watch Jacksepticeye all the time, and he loves Ryan Reynolds, and I could never understand why. I'm like, why? This is just some dude. What's going on? The other reason people think that Justin Baldoni has been distanced from the rest of the group in terms of marketing is they think there have been some creative differences between specifically Blake Lively and or Colleen Hoover and Justin Baldoni, because as we established, Justin was the director, but there have been clips shown online of Blake directing him. And people have said both in the past with previous projects and now that Blake is a control freak and a bit of a diva and she likes things to be her way. Now that is hearsay, that's speculation, might not be true at all, but that is what people say. It's also been alleged that she got her own editor to make an edit of this movie, to make her own separate edit. And then there was two edits, her edit and Justin's edit, and it's not said which one is released, but I watched the movie. And to me, it felt like a rom-com edit. Like, it felt like the movie was trying to be a rom-com, which I already said, but it wasn't. Like, that's not what the movie actually was. So, if that theory is true, or those rumors are true that she had her own edit made, then, you know, I believe it, and I believe that's the one they used. I also saw it said somewhere, and I cannot remember where I read this, I'm sorry. If I find the source, I'll put it in the description. But it was alleged that she had threatened if they didn't use her cut of the film, her edit of the film, that she would get Taylor Swift, who is her friend, to pull her song My Tears Ricochet from the movie. So that's a bit weird. But now, because of all of this going on, people are kind of going back into her past and seeing some things that are a bit questionable. First of all, her acting. She's perhaps not the best actor. You know, it's not really a reason to cancel somebody, is it? They also noted that she got married to Ryan Reynolds on a plantation, like a former plantation, just questionable at best. And speaking of which, when they met, Ryan Reynolds was married to Scarlett Johansson. Now, they say they didn't cheat, but who knows what went on there. There was also an interview that surfaced, which is just so rude and so catty. I'm just going to play it for you.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
You've got two nice ones.
And they are kind of bumps, aren't they?
Did you guys love wearing those kind of clothes that you...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, working in digital...
Everyone wants to talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes.
I would.
I love Jesse's suits and how
that's what I'm saying. His wardrobe was beautiful.
I know.
Corey's wardrobe was gorgeous. Those
so
high-waisted pants.
He's so great.
I would wish men wore high-waisted pants like that still. Or the father with his tank top in bed.
It's so good.
It's just like
Did you
that.
catch
You could feel
the
it.
tablecloth on the light in the Italian restaurant when they eat spaghetti?
I didn't notice that. No.
There's
I
so
feel
much
like-
warmth of everything, you know.
Yeah, it's not just the women that have the clothes.
But
I feel like the women
Victoria-
get the conversation, but it's like
Yeah.
every detail with everybody.
But
Like,
yeah,
it's so,
it was
so
amazing
beautiful.
to look at.
Steve's
and then to see
white
it,
suits.
Yes.
And then you notice in LA, like everybody's in cream colors and all the men are wearing like white and cream. And then you get to New York and it's a little bit more browns and moodier. And Susie really told such a story.
Yeah, amazing.
Alongside Vittorio, because it is a lot brighter and sunnier in LA, and New York has just a steaminess to it.
She basically called that interviewer fat. Like, what the hell? What the hell is wrong with you? And then at the same time, like, she's like not looking at the interviewer. And this goes on for the whole interview. They're just like ignoring her. Her and the person beside her whose name escapes me in this moment in time, Posey Parker or something, which sounds fake. Is that her name or did I make that up? They're just being so rude and horrible. And people say that this is actually her behavior, that she's rude and she's a mean girl and she's catty and she does stuff like this. Oh, and I saw a clip where she said that the movie that made her laugh the hardest was Shawshank Redemption.
What's your favorite movie?
Wizard of Oz.
Movie you laughed the hardest through?
Shawshank Redemption.
If you could sing a duet with someone, who would it be? Which Sex and the City character do you identify with most?
Mostly the men.
Was that supposed to be a joke? I really hope that was supposed to be a joke. And the most damning evidence of all is that people have pointed out that from her Gossip Girl days, a lot of the cast, they all follow each other, they all interact with each other. None of them follow Blake Lively. And it was rumored at the time that she had issues with people on set, that she was a bit of a diva, that her and Leighton Meester didn't like each other, even though Leighton Meester is like the sweetest person on the planet. And I also really love her song Heartstrings. Really, really love that song. You should listen to that, and I wish she made more music. So overall, it just looks like she's kind of not a nice person, as well as potentially not being a good actor. Now, this is all alleged, and there are some stuff being thrown back and forth from sources, you know, that are coming up online. So when all this stuff started to come out about Blake Lively, some articles started to come up about Justin Baldoni and his behavior on set, and it was saying that he was, hi sweetie, that he was, you know, just like his character Ryle, and that he was hard to work with, but it's kind of unsubstantiated. So it could be true, it could not be true. There was also a source that said that Blake Lively felt like he fat-shamed her because... Hi, sweetie, I'm talking. Why don't you come here? Hello. Because he has had a history of back problems, and in one of the scenes he's supposed to pick her up, so he asked his trainer how much she weighed so he could practice picking her up. Not saying I can't lift her, just saying he wanted to make sure he didn't injure his back, which if you have back problems, you know that that's an important thing to do, so that does not feel like fat shaming. It just... Again, it might be true that there was something iffy about him, but at this point it just feels like scrambling from Blake's PR team to put the heat on him instead of her. He did hire a PR crisis team, and the team was the same one used by Johnny Depp in the Amber Heard trial, which makes me kind of raise an eyebrow a little bit. Like, that is sus, but that in itself is not like... Sweetie. That in itself does not mean that he's guilty of anything. It might have just been a case where somebody said, this is a really good PR team, I'm gonna go get her. So it might have just been an issue that there was like tension on set, as people are suggesting, and he was told, hey, this is a really good PR team, they might be able to help you out. It might have nothing suspicious about it, but you know, it is worth questioning. I'm not saying he's definitely innocent and Blake is definitely in the wrong, because I wasn't there. I don't know, but what I can see for definite with my own eyes is the differences in the way that they're promoting this movie. And from that standpoint alone, he's doing a far better job, and she and Colleen Hoover are doing an absolutely abysmal and somewhat damaging job of it, actually. Anyway, that was pretty much all I wanted to discuss today. I just think that they've done a really bad job with it, but I went and saw the movie for you guys. I saw It Ends With Us, so you don't have to. I mean, go see it if you want to. It's fine. You could also see another movie if you wanted to. I don't feel like you're gonna miss anything by not watching it. But I feel bad for Justin Baldoni. He really wanted to do something good with this, so maybe just on that point alone, maybe go watch it. He also has rights to the sequel, It Starts With Us, which is more of a romance as far as I'm aware. But it looks like he does not want to be a part of that, probably because it would mean working with Blake Lively again. So I don't know, but let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think any of them are wrong? Do you like Ryan Reynolds? Because I cannot be alone here and disliking that man just based off vibes. I could be wrong, like again, I don't know any of these people. This is all just hearsay and speculation, whatever. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, that helps me out a lot. And if you are listening to me talk right now and you're not actually going to subscribe, why do you hate me? What did I do to you? What is the why are you trying to hurt me on this day? Follow me on social media, VangelinaSkov everywhere. Check out the Patreon. There's merch there that is exclusive to patrons. And when I say there's exclusive patron merch, I don't mean you have to buy it as an extra. I mean it comes with the Patreon. Like, you get merch by being a member. That's a thing that happens. Also, access to the Patreon-only chat. What other things do I say? Oh yeah, like, comment, share, do all the things that I'm supposed to ask you to do at the end of the video, including remembering to check out Surfshark VPN. You can click the link in my description and use code Vangelina to get an extra 4 months of Surfshark VPN. Thank you so much to them for sponsoring today's video, and thank you for watching this video. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!